What's up guys, welcome to your 46th Java tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be going over what static variables are and how they're used. So usually whenever you have a class that has objects, each of the variables, each object has its own set of variables like first name, and I can make an object called Bucky and it would have its own first name Bucky, and I could have another object named Tommy and it would have its own first name of Tommy. But sometimes you want all the objects to share a single variable. For example, if you're going to make members of a club and you're going to have the club count, how many members were in it. For example, if I was in the club, it would be 1. If Tommy was in the club, it would be, if me and Tommy were in the club, it would be 2. If me, Tommy, and Megan were in the club, it'll be 3. And we each don't need to see that. We each don't need an updated variable or a separate variable for 3, since the members in the club is all the same. So, for example, there's some variables that you just can share, and you're saying, alright, why don't you just write a separate variable for each object and update it? Well, that takes a lot of time and space, so you'll see what static is by the end of this tutorial, and it's one of the most useful things that I actually taught you so far, so listen up. In this tutorial we're going to be building a club, of course, and the club is going to be of hot girls that I would like to go out with. And yes, they will be famous. And no, I will never go out with them. So let's go ahead and make a couple regular variables first. For each object, it gets its own private string. And let's go ahead and put like first for first name. And then go ahead and put private string and last for last name. And now we need to give them a variable that they can share. So go ahead and put private and put static, and that static keyword means that every object shares the same variable. So when this one changes, it changes to all objects. And before, if you change one object's first name, that only that object's first name changed. But when you change a static variable, they change with all objects. So if I change this to 4, then all objects would see 4. Got it? Good. So static int, and we'll have members of our club, and we'll initialize it to 0. So without building anything, we have 0 members in our club. So next, let's go ahead and make our constructor. So public, our class name is Tuna, and it's going to take 2 arguments: string first name and string last name. This is how we're going to insert members into our club. And in our constructor, just put first equals first name, last equals last name, and let's just go ahead and put something like members plus plus. So each time we add a member, it adds 1 to our members variable. So after we add our first member, members will equal 1. When we add our second member, members will equal 2. So next, let's just go ahead and system out print format, and our format will be something like, again, you can be creative with this if you want. Constructor for, make sure you spell it wrong, %s. So it will be a constructor for Bucky Roberts, and then we'll have members in the club, and then put like colon %d, and then a new line. So we're gonna have like constructor for Megan Fox, members in the club 1. Constructor for Natalie Portman, members in the club 2. Easy enough. So now we need to put first, of course, last, and members. And I spelled that wrong. members, members. That's a pretty catchy tune. Alright, now let's go ahead and write some more methods that are going to come in handy. First, we need something to get their first name. So public, actually, let me think about this. For this tutorial, I'm teaching you is constructors, right? So we probably don't even need these yet, but we sure do in the next tutorial. So let's go ahead and in this apples, and in our main function right here, let's go ahead and make some members. So let's go ahead and make member 1, Tuna, because it's in the Tuna class, member 1, and we'll set it equal to new Tuna, and of course it takes the arguments. Again, you can see what arguments it takes by this constructor over here: a first name and a last name. So the first name can be Megan, and the last name of girls I want to date club can be Fox. So now what we should have outputted on the screen is, well, might as well just do it. Constructor for Megan Fox and members in the club 1. Easy enough. So let's go ahead and make another one now. Tuna member 2 will make another object equals new tuna, and we'll have something like Natalie and then Portman. You don't know who she is? Definitely Google it. And let's go ahead and make one more for fun. Tuna member 3 equals new tuna, and let's see. Let's get Taylor. She can join the club too. And Swift. She is a babe with a pretty voice, hottie with body, cutie with booty. Anyways, so we made 3 different objects. Each one, well, let me run this, show you guys that it works, show myself that it works. So we made 3 different objects right here. One for Megan Fox named member 1, one for Natalie Portman named member 2, and one for Taylor named member 3. Each of them has their own set of variables. Let's look at this one, Natalie Portman, member number 2. For every object, they have their own set of variables right here. Natalie has her own first name right here, and she has her own last name of Portman right here. But they all share this members variable, and they can, like Megan Fox, this object, she can't see what Natalie's names are, but she can see the members in the club has changed it too. And when Taylor Swift joins the club right here, since it's static, it means all of these objects share the same static variable, so they can all see that the members of the club has changed to 3. So that's why static variables are useful, since, you know, sometimes you just need, and again, if you didn't have this on a new train of thought right here, you would have to have a function to update all of these each time. But you know, why update 3 separate things, 1, 2, 3, and then when a member leaves, you'd have to update 3 separate things, 1, 2, 3, when you can just have one variable, call it static, and update it one time. So that's your quick tutorial on what static is and why it's useful. It pretty much, instead of having to update it many times, you just call it static, and all members or objects can see it. So thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you don't understand, you will in the next tutorial, because we're going to be going over static some more. But like I said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and